Yeah. That one I'm trying to like absorb, like I was like a beam at the dumps, like a sucking beam.
Oh, like Pac-Man trying to eat a pack pellet that's too big.
But it's all the dumps. Oh, that's a pretty good noise.
Oh.
You gotta keep that one for the next one. That's not bad.
Oh yeah.
That was a
I'm
good
looking
description
forward
of
to
it,
the-
Jacob. I'm proud of you. You're learning a lot here on this cruise, on this tour cruise, on this Grand Line tourist cruise. Dang it. It was gonna work,
Oh
man.
my goodness. Yeah.
I was getting in there, but welcome back, everybody else. Just ignore everything that just happened to the Grand Line Tourist podcast. A chapter by chapter examining or re-examining, depending on who you are, of Ichiro Oda's One Piece manga. That's what we are. Every time I say this intro, I get into my late night DJ voice, which I kind of like.
Oh, late night DJ.
Yeah, one day we're gonna have to just have a whole episode where we talk like this, really close to the mic and just real smooth.
Oh.
I am your tour guide here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Eric Sivu, sitting next to me, the man who we named the whole podcast after. You know him, you love him, Jacob.
Hello. Yes, that is I. It is I. It is I. It is I. It is I, Jacob. Apparently, I'm going to repeat all the song titles you'll be hearing tonight, just in case you miss it. I don't want you to go home wondering, oh, I danced to the beat of that song, but I can't remember what it is. You won't forget. You won't forget.
You won't
forget. Because I'm going to repeat.
Jacob, the repeating DJ.
Oh, my.
I like it. Tell them who you are, though, in the context of this podcast, I guess.
Oh, in the context of this podcast, I am your tourist.
Nice.
Reading Eiichiro Oda's masterpiece for the very first time.
Yeah.
Eric, we gotta get out of this sweaty dance hall.
Yeah,
We're too close in this DJ booth. To get the itinerary going for today. I need to get out. I need to soak in some sun.
That's
Tell me
fair.
that there's something good going on.
Yeah, no, we're gonna go ahead and close up this just for a bit. Let's jump into the itinerary. Here we go. We pick back up. Siam throws Zoro's swords away. His two that he just stole. He says it's way too heavy. Zoro's like, yo, you gotta respect swords that aren't yours, man. And the cat's like, come do something about it. So Zoro's like, I will, brother. So Zoro does. He does a really big attack. Looks really impressive. And he chops Siam in half. Like, it looks clean. Not completely in half, but, in half enough. And Zoro's like, that was easy. So easy. Surprise. Siam has the waist of a cat. He's actually very, very skinny. What Zoro actually chopped off was just a very oversized shirt, apparently. That seemed to be form-fitting in the chapter before, but it's not. It's all an optical illusion. Cyan takes this opportunity of deception to kind of pin Zoro down from his back, hold him while he's down, which allows Butchie the opportunity to run, jump, does his cat...
Do it down B. Do it down B.
His catapult. Yeah, his catapult into some sort of a
Catapult into catastrophe, right?
Catastrophe. There we go. Lots of
Yeah.
cat puns. You got to give it to him. He when he sticks to
Oh,
a theme,
boy.
he's like the pirate culture.
I
the
loved
crew
him
culture
last
of this
chapter.
one, cats. Lots of cats. So Butchie's coming down. Luckily, Zoro's strong enough to kind of muscle his way out of it. He goes, Butchie lands really heavy, really hard, cracking the floor. Usopp's like, yo, that guy's gonna kill. Even Zoro's like, if that thing lands on me, he's gonna kill me. He's gonna be a pirate-flavored pancake. Very good. All the descriptions. This is it. This is why he's the master of what he is. Nami is like, Usopp, are you gonna help this guy? If you're not gonna help him, or if we don't help Zolo, he's gonna die. Usopp's like, you're right. I can provide just support. I can shoot. So he shoots
some distance.
Yeah, he shoots while Zoro's getting attacked by both of them. Right now it's Butchie, now it's Siam. There's claws, there's cats, there's bells, there's bow ties. Everything's coming at him. But Zoro must see Usopp's shot coming, and he actually puts himself in front of it, taking the shot. And Usopp's like, whoa. And Nami's like, you're supposed to be helping him. And Usopp's like, I didn't. Zoro jumped in front. And Zoro, in a brief moment, yells at Usopp, like, are you crazy? Are you trying to get yourself killed? That's when Usopp realizes that, if I hit one of them and I draw their attention, Nami and I are not in any condition to fight. We're just gonna die. These guys are gonna kill us.
Yeah.
Again?
It's gonna be worse than what happened to Mary.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently, because Mary...
Apparently.
built different. Mary is built different. So yeah, but during this time, as Zoro is saying, yelling at Usopp for being an idiot, they actually the Meow Band brothers take this opportunity to land a few hits on Zoro, hurting him. Nami's like, he can't do it. He can't do it by himself. He can't do it with just one sword. I can go. No. I can go grab the swords. So she goes. She tries to grab the swords, but you know who's still back there? The one and only, the traveling hypnotist, Django, lands some sort of attack on her, knocks her down. He says, "You don't get any swords for you, young lady." And then probably one of the best entrances that we have seen so far in One Piece. All of the bad guys just stop. They just stop, and they're scared. And the reason why is because Captain Coral has showed up, and that's it. That's enough to stop, and that's the end of the chapter.
It's pretty bold way to end it, I'd say.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and there's a little sum up there at the end of Usopp and Zoro are tired but still standing. Luffy and Nami, they're out. They look like they're on the ground, not ready to help at all. So it's a pretty interesting setup there we got going into a very important moment where everyone really starts to meet.
Yeah, all the parties are almost here. Right?
Yeah, I mean, the only one we're uncertain of is how far and how fast is Kaya walking.
Yeah, how far the food boys have taken her. All right, let's talk about this so far. These two, they're putting up a fight against Zoro. I mean, I guess Zoro's handicapped too, but he's struggling a bit here, huh?
Yeah, no, he's not doing great. And this is a fight that has incredibly interesting mechanics, and I actually don't mind this. You'll have to let me know, because I feel like it's something that, depending on what type of reader you are, mileage could vary. How do you like having things explained to you during your fight? Like, sometimes me and you have a lot of fun because a fight is actually quite written in a way where we actually don't have any call-outs verbally of what's going
visual,
on.
Right? Yeah.
Sometimes characters will call out the attacks they're going to do, right? But explaining why a punch lands and why one doesn't is all kind of up to us. But in this fight, we have two things that are kind of really called out, which is the way in which Siam the cat dodges the slice from Zoro, and then we also have the whole we need an explanation for why Zoro was actually getting hit with the bullet, because it's pretty confusing if you were to try to figure that out on your own. It would have been, you'd have to somehow realize that Usopp was actually a really good shot and aimed correctly, and then Zoro, without appearing to glance behind, jumped in front of the way in order to protect him. It would have been hard to put those pieces together. How does that work for you as far as having stuff explained in a fight like this? For me, I'm okay, but I'm curious. What's your read on it?
I do enjoy it because, to be honest with you, I forgot what this was. I thought it was him going this is my fight, stay out of it again. That's what I thought it was. I wrote down, in this section I'm calling 2-on-1, because right now it definitely is 2-on-1. But Zoro has this is cool. This is another side of him, which is he has very good battle awareness in this moment, which I agree with you. I think he did need to explain, or else we wouldn't have got that. And I think this works for me. I think overall it works.
No, for me too. I don't mind. It, basically the things are just cool enough and not too crazy that they work in the world of One Piece, right? Crazy character with a crazy shirt, I buy it. Zoro having heightened battle awareness that leads him to make a crazy move in order to protect his friends, I buy it,
there's also
but I did need the explanation to know what was being sold.
Just to even go back on your point, I think the more subtle things, though, that we can actually chat a bit about is the difference between how Siam fights and Butchie fights, which is very it's kind of cruel. One of them, the skinny one, acts essentially like rope, right? Holding the guy down, cutting the guy, stripping the person of whatever they have to fight, taking away their game plan through deception, holding them down, and having the human cat, the cat-sized human cannonball jump on top of them and crush them to death. Yeah, it works, and it's gross, and it's difficult to deal with when you're just one person.
It's a pretty brutal combination.
Yeah, it is fun, and suddenly it's a weird payoff to this strange design that you and I talked about last chapter, which is, why are they shaped this way? Why do they look this way? One's a bow tie, one's literally the cowbell. It's coming, it's a bell. He's gonna knock you out. He's gonna ring your head. It's fun. It's a fun little thing. They have a game plan, and that's why it works for the most part, right? Yeah. Any thoughts overall about the fight here?
No, I mean, like, I think the game plan and the mechanics of this fight are the most interesting thing. When you originally said, let's focus on the subtler details of this fight, I was getting worried because I thought you were going to go into a section where you explained the kind of metaphorical or thematic relevant things at play. And I in my mind, I hadn't come up to any of those, right? I thought this was a fight for fighting's sake, more so than a... I mean, we did talk a little bit about how essentially there's a bit of like lying going on, which is kind of
and he's
relevant,
still doing
but
it. Yeah,
he's still doing it, but it doesn't seem to be like what it is it doesn't ring as true. You know what I mean? You can note it and kind of say, I see what you did there, but it's not something that's going to make us think like, oh, I learned a lot more about Zoro in this moment. But as I say that, I have to admit, it's good to be reminded that Zoro is actually kind of selfless a bit in the way that Luffy is, because he just doesn't look it as much. Luffy's just so...
He's so outward
about it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Zoro, his demeanor just strikes you as the strong man, and you wouldn't think of the strong man, stepping in front of the bullet for the reason of protecting somebody else when he's focused on a fight, right?
Right.
So, yeah, as I say that I felt like this is kind of a standard fight. Maybe it's not revealing more, but it's accentuating a bit of what we already know, which is still cool.
Yeah, and it's emphasizing really fun stuff too. I do say, just to even come back to the deception thing, I was just gonna say this is probably like, these guys aren't swordsmen, so they're not gonna fight with any sort of, I don't know, what's the right word? Chivalry,
finesse,
I guess.
Oh, chivalry.
Yeah, like there's no honor in the way these two fight.
It's kind of strange because like it's we've had this idea of like a pirate's code being so different from what I'm used to the standard pirate's code being. We got like the Luffy pirate's code, which is like honor and discipline and like finesse among pirates, and then we have the opposite of that would be how I generally would have thought pirates would fight, which is just do whatever you can to take their stuff,
Yeah, like do what you can to win.
Yeah.
So for him to, I mean, this panel when he does slice Siam, it looks pretty convincing. But it's really funny when they did the whole, we'll get to it, but like the cat waist, come on, man. Like, you jerk. Right. Now, the last thing, the other thing that I want to move on to, which is really dope that I mentioned in the itinerary, is this looks bad, and like this chapter goes one way, and it completely morphs at the end. Like, to my surprise, too, because I couldn't figure out what they were shaking about, and it's because Captain Koro's here.
Yeah, no, it's we were aware that this was a character that could inspire some degree of fear, but we hadn't seen it so directly until now. It's a fear that like gives other people spider senses about the fear before it comes. You know what I mean? Like they all weren't looking at Clawhador or Captain Kuro when he arrived, right? But they knew that like, oh no, like we failed Captain Kuro, and like that is worse than anything that could happen to us in a fight right here.
Yeah, like this isn't the current focus anymore, because he's here and he's gonna kill all of us. It was just so cool because it's a page turn, right? You don't see it. The last thing we see is Nami getting wrecked and Usopp saying, "Man, you pig, that was our last hope," right? Because the idea is that if we get Zoro another sword, that he's going to be able to keep up with these two, which is fair. I agree with that too. But on the page turn, it just changes. The whole vibe actually feels like it changes, and I was like, I don't know what's happening. But man, when you see the reveal, it's like, okay, I get it. It's awesome. It's so cool.
Well, it's funny. We understand, but I don't think we get it yet because... Oh, okay. No, we did see him kind of take down Mary. We've seen some aggression from Clawhador at this point.
Right.
We're gonna have to see more. Like
it's all hype.
Assuming we get, it is all hype, but it's hype with the way Captain Kuro carries himself just makes you believe the hype.
Yeah.
This stupid little glasses thing. Crushing them on the floor. You're just like,
what in the
I haven't
name
seen
of
it
Neptune,
yet.
Right? And Neptune's name is going on.
I thought that was an interesting line. I was like, interesting.
That's all. That's everything I kind of have for this one. I don't think Nami is dead. I mean, do you think Nami's dead?
No. She doesn't look anything like Mary, okay? She doesn't even look anything like Usopp. Usopp took quite a beating, and Usopp's fine. Nami is completely fine. I did want to bring up, though, is Django's weapon is really strange. I assume he holds on to this, like, tiny ring of sliciness. That's what it looked like to me. That he cut Nami with.
To hypnotize.
Yeah, is that what he sliced Nami with?
I believe so.
It's super sharp too. Yeah, that's what it looks like to me.
This was huge though. The thing he uses to hypnotize is small, right? Like it's like the size of his nose.
Yeah, no, this actually looks like one of the pieces that's on the side of his cloak kind of thing. You know?
Maybe he hangs it off the side of him.
It could also be, I think rings maybe somehow related to the idea of him being a hypnotist, whether or not it's the same one. It's not the clock that he uses. He used a clock before, right?
It might have been a clock. Yeah, it was something. Man, I don't remember.
Yeah, he had something that he specifically was hypnotizing people with.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I just thought it was it's a weird panel because I almost didn't notice that Nami got hurt so much, and then you look a little closer and you see like the big blood spurt, and you're like, oh, like, yeah, from considering how, Nami just doesn't have as much weight to throw around like that, right? You're like, oh gosh, like that's really bad for her.
Yeah. So. No, but she had the right idea. It was her. She was the one who needed to do it. Yeah, first time in a while, our heroes are kind of in like life danger as long as Luffy's still asleep. Armor Guffy's still taking a nap. So
we just got to get somebody to say, 1, 2, Django, wake up. We're safe.
That's true. I forget how he woke up last time. Maybe someone was actually able to wake him up. Because, he fell asleep and fell off a cliff, so he did wake up eventually.
It's true.
Let's get to some ha-has.
Maybe he felt Captain Kuro's presence as well. Maybe he'll be like, whoa, I felt that.
Something's here. Or maybe Django will wake him up to, like, pit him against Kuro.
All right, but like you said, we're moving on to the ha-has. Opie's got jokes. I'm going to open us up with one you've already mentioned, but I really...
Just the only one I have.
Especially coming... Oh, well, okay. Well, I don't think it'll be the same one as me, but it could be. I really liked, especially coming from Zoro, the idea that, like, if they land their, like, downwards attack on me, I'll be a pirate-flavored pancake.
Yeah.
I think it just... Coming from Zoro especially, I just can't imagine him thinking that way, so it's just funny to see it come out of his mouth. Yeah, maybe it's a little bit of a translation thing there. He just said it in a way that came out weird, but I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, it works still, but it was probably some sort of, I don't know, the Japanese version, a Japanese pancake. I don't know. Whatever that name of that is. Yeah, I definitely thought the same thing. I was like, that feels uncharacteristic, but we'll take it.
We'll take it.
Look at us judging Oda's choice. Oda's choices at this point. 32 chapters in.
Yeah, we can judge him through translation. It's clearly, our given right to, take and scratch away at this piece of work, whether or not it be perfect, or a big fur ball. I got 3 cat puns in there, so keep going.
That's true. My only one that I have is I have a cat's waistline. Come on, guys.
Well, you know what? When you brought that up earlier, the one thing I thought of was I've seen some pretty fat cats in my day.
Yeah. Garfield will beg to differ. All right?
Yeah.
He eats lasagna, and he's cranky, and he's chubby, and probably has
sometimes
cat diabetes.
Played by Bill Murray, sometimes played by other people.
Yeah, but famously by Bill Murray. Everybody let him know. Tweet him at that. Yeah, like what the heck? Look at this logic, man. This cat cat. What was it? The cat's waistline. Sure, the logic's there. I get it. He's skinny like a Siamese cat.
I love the explanation visually of like what's going on there, like thinking about it, but relating it to the cat, it's a cat stretch, if you will.
Nice. That's it. We done it. We could start writing mangas.
Yes. Well, it is kind of funny. I have to admit, sometimes the pun and joke prevalence inside One Piece manga probably does give a lot of people hope for like, I could do some of this. Like, just some of the sillier jokes, right? Like, Oda really gets to indulge in a way that this is the first time I have read a manga or, any piece of media really that has indulge so heavily, I think. That might just be an interesting point of discussion. Do you have anything else that you would say indulges more heavily in this level of, pun work, in a like major piece of media?
Not that I enjoy too much. I think. Yeah,
There are a lot of kid shows that throw them in, but this feels pretty
It feels very
keeps them
similar to
coming.
like Avatar: The Last Airbender sense of humor.
I want to say Avatar's more clever.
Yeah, but that's more clever in the sense that we're American and is made like an American
True.
production
Maybe
company,
that's
so-
the problem. Like they're more clever because they're playing off of a culture we understand. Well, these
Right.
are more translated, and originally we're playing off a culture that we're not privy to. So that's
Right.
a good point.
Yeah, that might be what it is. Where this one's just a little more because maybe we're Japanese. We think the Avatar: The Last Airbender is like falling.
Oh,
flat.
there's like, man, they just keep talking about stupid stuff like
cabbages.
like cabbage. Oh, did you say it at the same time?
I did. I think we will.
Oh,
Hopefully
that's
that
great.
lines up over the interwebs.
We'll see. We'll see if we clapped right earlier on the podcast.
What did you? Do you have anything else? Do you have anything else joke wise? Haha wise?
No, I really like the pancake one. That was the highlight of the chapter for me. So
That's fair,
I
man.
think we're ready.
These last few chapters are kind of these last two chapters at least are feeling a little, a little smaller in the content wise. Just a lot of fights, getting some stuff moving.
yeah, they're more your fancy feast than your freshly home chef made. Fancy feast is probably supposed to be good. I don't know. Whatever the low brand of cat food is supposed to be. I don't know. I don't have a cat. Why am I talking about
Meow
this?
mix. I know we don't both. Neither of us have cats. Let's just throw panels at each other. That's something we know how to do. Let's panel battle.
That's
Let's
right.
do a panel battle.
Throw panels, throw pancakes. Let's duke it out in an arena that we understand. Eric and I have both selected our favorite panel, the panel that speaks to us the most, for discussion here today in our panel battle section. And we want you to join in the fray. We know that there are tourists and tour guides alike out there. Maybe even more interesting or exciting tourists or tour guides than us. No way. That can't be possible. But we wouldn't know unless you send in your panels to grandlinetourist@gmail.com and join the fray. That said, I think you threw the first punch last chapter. So go ahead and I'm gonna throw the first punch this chapter. Yes. Open my chapter 32 in the panel in question. Let's see. It's the bottom right panel.
Oh, bottom right. Interesting.
Bottom right.
Okay, so this is Usopp thinking in his mind. There was no stomach under his shirt. That's that panel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no stomach under his shirt, and this is Usopp kind of imagining the silhouette, the diagram of what Zolo actually cut, which was nothing but air. It's really cool. It has action lines kind of going through it and all that good stuff. But we kind of see like, oh, that's what happened. That's why he's not dead, like bleeding out on the floor. It's because Zolo only hit a t-shirt.
Yeah, no, I really like just the technical nature of it, right? Like you can see that the cut went all the way right up into the silhouetted body, and then you can see how the shirt and why it wound up looking the way it did in the other panel. So I just thought that was like the perfect right amount of not over explanation, just right there, what you needed to see in order to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I also have to say, like, this must have worked for Siam before. This tactic.
Well, yeah. Well, you couldn't go into a fight not knowing. Like, I mean, you really have to, I think, billow out your shirt and then suck in the stomach real hard, to get that, mix of proportions to even make sense,
Yeah, it's just so funny. Like, he's always like, this dude is like, these are my moves. Pretend to be a coward. Get real close, steal their stuff. And then if they attack me, just, wear an oversized shirt. I don't need armor. Just give me a very, very long, lengthy shirt, and I'll trick them. Because I'm skinny, like a cat.
We can only assume if the fight went on for a couple more minutes, Siam would just stop and be like, well, I did it. I did everything. That's it.
I'm out. I'm out of moves. I'm done. All right. I gotta send you my panel.
All right. Anxiously waiting in trepidation. Oh my goodness. This was on my list of possible panel choices right here. This is a great panel choice. Everyone on this page had started to get scared, and we don't know why they're getting scared. We have our suspicions. Bottom right of the page, we have a whoop. That's the I assume that's the noise of Captain Kuro sliding his glasses up, which is what he is doing in this panel. It's silhouetted And oh man, it's silhouetted in such a way that his eyes just pierce through the panel because they are completely white. You can just see these frames of the glasses that he's wearing, and he just looks very intimidating. And I never actually noticed that symbol that's on his shirt before. Do you see it?
So this is really funny. And I thought it was this SPS, but last chapter's SPS, one of the questions to Oda was...
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even... I read the SPS and I got confused because I hadn't actually went and found the symbol. The question was like, is that just a pile of poop on Captain Kuro's shirt?
And he said, yeah.
Is it an insignia of it or an actual...
I don't think it is. I think he's just lying. I just think that's what the design is, but it's funny to be like,
okay.
Yeah, it's poop.
I don't know, but even on the design of it, is it like a pin that is just like like a badge or like something that? Oh, it's interesting.
I have no idea what it is on this shirt. We might have to watch the anime just to find out.
Okay, yeah, no, it might be. I mean, if it was going with the dung route, it could be like kitty litter, and then he's the, I don't know.
All right. Look
got
at you trying to over-explain this one symbol. Is that? Do you need to put on your tinfoil hat for that one?
No, that one. That's just solid. That's just. I mean, we're in a cat pun world.
It's so.
And if someone happens to have cat dung insignia,
actually buried underneath some litter.
Exactly.
One more thing before we start doing our weird noises to end the podcast today. I have to say,
whoa, getting meta here.
I know. We gotta go.
We never told the audience that we do weird noises at the end so bluntly before.
I guess that's fair. I'm breaking it because guys, that's what I do. I give as much as I take. The SBS corner this week, in this chapter at least, there's a really cool little Easter egg. Did you read this section? So
I did.
There's only 2 questions.
Yes.
But the second question is about this character, this Mikio Ito.
Sounds
right?
good. Yeah.
Itu.
Mikio Ito.
Yeah.
Well, he's got 2 O's, so maybe Itu.
It's really cool, but it says that this character shows up in 3 different mangas: One Piece, Bootsy Zone, and Rurouni Kenshin. I'm pretty sure he was an assistant on at least, I think, on both of these mangas.
Okay.
And that's a character in all of them. And I thought that was like a really cool Easter egg. And this is kind of tickle your... I know you didn't have a reason to put on your tinfoil hat, but this is the way he thinks. Like he puts these things in all of it. Like all these sort of foreshadows, all these small little things. They're in it all over the place. And this is just like kind of the start of it, and I think there's at least with One Piece fandom, there is this giant draw of like Easter egg hunting and scavenger hunting through One Piece to see what the initial signs are, and this is such a cool little thing in the beginning of it that I see.
Well, and just I know he says that there was that character actually appears in the other manga, or do these signs of that character appear and then the character only comes out in One Piece?
I'm not really sure. I think
no, it would be interesting to know, like, because it almost sounds insane to have a character exist in 3 different worlds, right? Like, because that character would have to kind of fit in the 3 different worlds.
Yeah.
But either way, it's pretty cool to have that kind of going on, that level of Easter eggness, and to know that Oda kind of planted all those himself is pretty neat.
Yeah, this is great. You know what's funny? I just Googled it, and they said arguably the first Easter egg in One Piece.
Oh.
Yeah, super cool, man. And it's just, he was, okay, for sure, he was the assistant to one of these guys. Who drew some of this. So it is kind of like an inside joke for him and his, and some of his probably teachers. Because it is probably
very
a character that kind of shows up in all that stuff. Super dope, dude. So much fun. So much fun. All right. Let's get some noises going.
It's time to do the thing that we do, right? We make strange noises.
We do.
That's how to put it so bluntly.
What? I don't even know what let's do that. Okay. You do the sound of Usopp shooting, like the sound of the slingshot letting go of the bullet. I'll do the sound of it hitting Zoro's shoulder flesh.
Oh yeah, and I think I almost wish that Zoro had like clenched his muscles and it reflected off, but that would have been just too wild. All right,
too anime. Not yet. Ow.